All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next podcast to be added to the Create at Morgan stable, if you will. The student-produced aspect of Create at Morgan requires that we have students who produce stuff. And today we have begun that process with the podcast called Cold in Colorado. Let me get it right. Cold in Colorado. And Cold in Colorado will focus on cold cases and true crime in Colorado. They're going to start primarily in northeastern Colorado, and then they're going to look at all of Colorado, and they're going to look at cold cases, interesting cases, and even current event cases that are happening in Fort Morgan, Wiggins, northeastern Colorado, and beyond. So the podcast currently, we're going to focus on a specific case, and our two students who are with me today and who will be taking over in just a few moments, they have plotted out a 4-episode arc, which we'll see if that stays. We'll hope that is the amount of episodes for this current subject. But for you listeners, you kind of need to be aware that this will be a regular episodic podcast that we'll upload, and we're looking forward to seeing what our two young ladies will put together for us. This is a part of a class project. My name is Aaron, and I am the language arts teacher at Lincoln High School in Fort Morgan, Colorado. If you're wondering where in the world that is, it is 77 miles northeast of Denver, Colorado. It's about an hour and a half, depending on how fast you speed, which you shouldn't speed because that's against the law, and the police will find you. So drive safely to Fort Morgan, and you'll get here in about an hour and a half, about an hour 15 or so. And it's a lovely town. It's a town of about 15,000 and a county of about 29,000. So compared to Denver's millions, we are a small community. But we still have unique information. We have unique stuff. We have unique stories. And that is one story that they are going to talk about today. So I have rambled on for long enough. My introductions will be as follows. On the podcast today we have
Allie
and
Dora.
And they are cold cases in Colorado with DNA. And yes, it is a play on words. Yes, we're trying to we're trying to pun a little bit here. So the case they're going to talk about is a case, and is it Fort Morgan or is it Wiggins?
It's Fort Morgan.
Fort Morgan.
No, I think it's between. It's both.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's both. So it's in the Wiggins, Fort Morgan area. Wiggins is just 15 miles down the road. Anyway, so these girls have done some research, and they've done some investigation, they've done some research, and they've done more research and more. So they have a lot of stuff to talk about. So we're going to play the intro music that they personally chose because they think it's awesome. And then when we come back, I'm going to turn over the microphones to them, and we're going to begin to tell the story of what it is we're talking about today here on the show we're calling Cold in Colorado with D&A. Welcome back. That intro is legit. One of our students, when I'm playing music in my classroom, calls my whatever if it's a particularly like lovely track, they call it a slapper. So I think that intro slaps. To use the
it's a knee slapper.
It's a knee. No, that's not the. Well, okay, sure. Well, it's not funny. It's. I don't think my term is right. I think I've gotten it mixed up. Now that I've exposed how old I am and not connected with the kids' lingo these days, that was a lovely way to start the podcast. So we're going to transition over to the story, which is less funny and kind of an interesting tale. So again, Allie and Dora have done their research, and they've got a plan for this episode. They've got some ideas. Now, if you're listening on this podcast, there will be, when this is published, a separate blog post on createatmorgan.org.
Yeah, it's a thing full of slides that we've created.
Yep. It'll be slides, there's going to be information, so that as they're talking and going through all this stuff, they might reference, hey, on this slide, or hey, on this note, or this thing. So as a listener, you can go and click over to that blog. It's createatmorgan.org. unsolved.org, there's a little link that says blog, and it'll go into a new window, and you'll just scroll down and find the Cold in Colorado episode 1 show notes, and you'll be able to find the PDFs and everything that you need there, and so you'll be able to follow along with them as they tell the story and give their opinions and all the good things they're going to do. So I have spoken for far too long on a student-produced podcast. I will turn it over to Allie and Dora for Cold in Colorado.
Hello.
Hi.
So this, our podcast, it's about a case. It's a cold case.
Yeah,
It's about, his name is Billy Trimbuck, and he passed away in 1993.
his he was first married. Like he was married, and then like he married this chick. What was her name?
Cindy.
Yeah, he married Cindy, and they had like I think a child together.
Yeah. Okay. So
And it's crazy.
Billy married Cindy
Mhm.
in 1992.
Mhm.
It was on Valentine's Day, and on his first marriage anniversary, on February 14th, 1993, his body was found along Interstate 76 on the frontage road, just west of Wiggins in Colorado.
Okay. Law enforcement state that Billy was dragged from the vehicle and left several yards north on the frontage road after he was shot and killed at an unknown location.
Yeah, so they think that he was shot in like some place, and then his body was dragged onto this, like it's like behind a snowbank. If you go on the blog and on the first slide, you could see one of the crime scene photos actually, and it's pretty gnarly. But anyways, so according to his wife Cindy, Billy had not been seen since the morning before February 13th in 1993, so the day before. And Cindy's son, his name is James Osmanson, says that he saw Billy leave that morning with an unknown man to help him with car troubles.
Okay. James later admitted that he lied, that he never saw Billy that morning. He lied because he suspected that his mother was involved in his murder.
Because the day before, his wife Cindy had taken out a large life insurance policy, and it was the day before he went missing, and his signature had actually been forged. Sorry. So the son suspected about that, and so he lied. Said just like completely debunked his statement. And then Cindy says that she had driven by the place where Billy had actually been found along the interstate that night that he went missing, and she claims that she was looking for him in that area despite the location being 45 miles away, and the family knew nobody from there. And it also happened to be a coincidence that witnesses say that they saw his body being dumped that time on that night.
Items found near the dump site, matching items found in Cindy's car, as well as a small amount of dry blood found in the back seat that matched Billy. He had a 9mm handgun that turned up missing from the home. His wounds consisted with these of a 9mm. Sorry, I cannot.
So
speak.
it's a possibility that, well, yeah, he got shot with his own gun, and so they found his blood in the back of Cindy's car, but only small amounts, though. I think that if his body would have been back there, it would have
Definitely.
there would have been a lot more, you know. So I think that someone who had his blood on him, got in the back of the car at some point.
They definitely had to, cause
Either that or the weapon.
well,
no, there wouldn't have been blood on the gun.
well, see, if he was in the backseat, there'd be a ton of blood.
Yeah,
and
there'd be
there
a lot more
wasn't.
than just like a small little, or unless they tried to clean it. It depends on what kind of seats it was or what kind of interior.
Oh yeah, cause blood is very hard to get out, even especially period blood. I don't think anyone wants to hear about that.
Yeah, Dora.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, so yeah, I think that someone or something that had his blood on him was in the back of her car at some point, and then she had items from her car that matched items found near the body dump scene.
Mhm.
So
Well,
her car had to have been somewhere near there at some point, you know?
like it was weird. She's like, "Oh, I drove by there and didn't see him." Well, if you drove by there, then you would have seen him.
Yeah, and it just so happens to be around. You said that you drove by there like at the exact same time that witnesses say that they saw his body being dumped, and you didn't
Yeah.
know anybody from that location, and you live
It's a bit
45 miles away, you know?
It's an orange.
You're 45 miles away. So there was honestly like no real reason for,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
I think like that. Like I don't think what he got. Like he should have been murdered because like he had a child.
Yeah, a brand new baby girl.
Yeah. Like if you look on the first slide,
Allison.
you can kind of see her.
Yeah, you could see a.
Like you can see her little face. It's so
we'll get
cute.
more into that next episode,
Yeah.
but you can see a little bit.
Yeah.
It should be on the first
He
slide.
had a family.
Yeah, he had a stepson, a brand new wife of a year,
Mhm.
and a newborn. Not a newborn. She was like a couple months old. Baby daughter.
I think she just wanted his
Allison.
money. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And
Didn't she die a year later?
yeah, she had the AIDS virus. I think that the son might have saw something, or I have
He
no idea. Because why would he
definitely-
say that? Either his mother told him that she was involved for him to lie. Because I don't think. How could he have suspected that unless he saw something alarming or he heard something from her?
Mhm.
He obviously witnessed something if he felt like he needed to lie about it
Yeah.
to protect his mom. Obviously, I think that the son, James.
Well, yeah, because
Like-
like he definitely had to see something. Because like no.
There's no reason that he would just suspect that and like know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's like he lies about the fact that he's seen his dad, but he actually didn't.
Yeah, and he said that he suspected his mom had something to do with it, like with what Evans.
That's-
He had to have
It's very fishy.
he had to have had like some point
Yeah.
at any point like
This is a
some
very
sort of clue that his mom did. So maybe he heard something, saw something, maybe I don't know.
It's very fishy.
Very.
Extremely. Like no regular person just be like, oh, I didn't see him, and the next thing you know, talks to the cops. Like a little bit later, oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about the gun.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
So Billy had a gun. It was a 9mm, and it was a handgun, and it turned up missing from the home, and his wounds also
Mm-hmm.
consisted with a 9mm handgun. So someone he knew,
His wife.
I'm thinking so,
Well,
because
'cause-
someone he knew had to have had access
Well,
to that
because
gun.
because according to them, no one seen them that day.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it
he
was-
ended up missing.
It was obviously someone that he knew, because how
Obviously.
would he know? How would the person know where the gun was
exactly
or have access to his house?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah, because like it's kind of weird because like
because
obviously his wife definitely had to like do
Yeah.
something with it because
we'll talk about more conspiracies about Cindy in episode 3, but
no, I
but,
thought that was yeah, it is episode 3. Okay,
But-
I'm so confused, but it's okay.
but he had 2 kids, so I suspected the gun was hidden and out of reach from a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, and like a little infinite baby.
So
'cause,
so
like,
only
well, because like
one person had to have known where the gun was, and that
well,
obviously
see,
is
if
Cindy.
like the gun was out, and listen to the fact that they had many kids, and the kids could have got to and
Yeah.
shot the other
Yeah,
sibling,
yeah.
or
So
just
Cindy
like hurt
had-
themselves.
Yeah, so Cindy had a couple kids from previous marriages, and I
Mhm.
think Billy had a daughter from a previous marriage, and together they had Allison.
Yeah.
And living in the home was him, Cindy, Allison, and James, which would be Billy's stepson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, see, like they're still related because like marriage.
Yeah, and if they lived in Stoneham, Colorado, and if you look on the slide, they had a mechanic shop, and they had a cute little garage, like in the back of their home. So their shop was not. It was just a couple feet away, like a couple. It was really close. And so if you look on the slides, you will see their business card. It's a little bit blurry because I couldn't zoom in to screenshot it, but you could see their business card and the address, where it is, and phone numbers.
Oh,
and
it's a diesel and electric company.
yeah, mechanic company.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
And then also you can, if you also look on the slides, you can see his grave, his grave site. I have the address for his grave.
Okay, so do we want to talk about his obituary?
Yes, let's talk about his
Because
obituary.
it's in the slides, so I think we should probably talk.
We could talk about his obituary. You know, it's.
Did you send Aaron the slides?
I did not, but I will right now. But anyways, you talk about the obituary.
Here, I will share this while you talk about it.
Okay. And so, his obituary, his name is William E. Trimbuck Jr. His father is senior, obviously. Obviously.
Okay, I just sent it to you, Aaron.
Yeah, he was born on September 30th, 1966. He was 26 years old when he passed on February 14th, 1993.
It's the third one.
And so he lived he was born in Brighton, Colorado, I believe. Yeah, Brighton, Colorado. Moved to Carlin, Nevada when he was in the 3rd grade, and then he graduated from Elko High School in 1985.
Oh, yours is more clear than ours.
And he worked for Newmont Mining and attended Northern Nevada Community College, like right before moving to Stoneham, which he married Cindy in Nevada too. In Carlin, they worked in the same place at the mining company, and they got married, moved to Stoneham. You know, a year later, he's dead. So it's a very short life.
Yeah, wait.
26 years. That's young.
That is, like, I think, like, most people, they should at least die when they're in, like, their 70s.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's normal. Because, like, because you, like, have grandkids and you met them at least.
Yeah, he moved to Stoneham April 1993, and then he died.
She's counting.
I'm counting.
Yeah, she's counting.
April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Wait, what?
I have no idea what you're
April.
doing now.
April 90. Yeah, 93. Wait, does February come before April?
Yes, because it goes January, February, March.
That is 92.
April.
Then it is 92.
See, she's kind of a goofball sometimes.
Yeah, they moved to Stoneham in April of 92.
Okay.
Not 93.
Not 93, 92.
It's 92.
So wait, he was murdered in 93 then?
Yes, he was murdered on February.
So yeah, it was like exactly a year after they got together.
Like 1 year, like on their marriage anniversary.
Okay.
They found him.
That makes sense.
And he went missing on the 13th, and then he was murdered on the 14th, I'm guessing. Or no, you know what? I think that he was murdered on the 13th because they said that they saw someone dumping his body that night.
Well, yeah, because when did they find the body?
The next day, Valentine's Day.
Oh, they found on Valentine's Day?
Yes, and
that's crazy.
He was like behind a snowbank and like on the side of the interstate. Yes. And
his gravesite's actually kind of sad.
I know, it just looks like dull.
Not gonna lie.
You know, it just looks
like it's kind of cute because it's kind of cute, but it's like very dull.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs a gravestone.
I feel like he would need more. You know, it's just
because it's just like a cross.
Yeah, of sticks.
So like I just think he probably needs a gravestone, but
yeah,
his family probably like they didn't afford it mainly because I don't think the wife wanted him to have a gravestone.
I don't know because she moved.
Well, because like with the fact that she took out money out of the thing, because like they could have put it towards the funeral and everything. Yeah. So I guess like they didn't get to do it because
maybe she just wanted all the money to herself.
Yeah, because
but then again, both of his parents were alive too, so they probably. I have no idea. They probably paid for the funeral and everything. I don't think that Cindy could care less.
Yeah, she probably doesn't. She probably could care less. Well, I wonder how the baby feels. Like,
I know,
up without a father.
I did some background, and I don't know. I couldn't find any updates about Allison, who was the baby.
I think it's kind of like it's sad because like she had to grow up without a father, you know.
Yeah.
Because like he passed away when she was literally an infant.
Yeah, so she never got to know him.
Yeah, like I would hate not to know who my father is. Like even though I don't talk to him anymore, I would hate not to know who he is.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's
So, like, the situation with it is extremely fishy. I think, like,
Very.
there's like a whole much more to it than like what we found out. There probably is.
Yeah.
But, like,
well, I mean,
We
they
found
had,
out a lot, though.
It turns out that they had 2 person of interests, 2 males. One of them, he was just about to confess everything, and he told them that he was going to confess to everything that he knew about the case.
Then he killed himself.
No. Then
No.
he got a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
and then the lawyer, like, completely said, "No, you cannot interview my client."
And then he killed himself.
And then he committed suicide. And then
Yeah.
another man, which I think his name is Joseph England. Something
I'm not
England.
sure.
It's something England, but he was supposedly a suspect, and
Didn't he go to
they-
jail for it?
I don't know. I couldn't find any more.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't find any more background info on him. All I know is that he was a suspect for it. He was on the run, and then he got into like a little car mishap in Arvada
Mm-hmm.
or Aurora. I'm guessing it's either one of those. And the police caught him, and there was a whole article about it, and it said that he was arrested and in custody, and I got no other information beyond that. I did so much digging that I possibly could, and I got no information on that at all.
Really?
I have no idea what happened. I'm guessing that he had nothing to do with it since they didn't give an update, or there were no further articles about it.
Oh, did you talk about oh yeah, he did graduate. We did talk about the fact that he graduated high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did we want to do this case specifically?
Because
We wanted to do cold cases, so, and like we didn't really find much here.
it's because sometimes, like, since this case is so old, like over the years, people kind of like stop giving it attention and kind of stop caring a little bit, and so I guess I wanted to pick one. Like so we looked at a whole bunch of cold cases, and then we picked one,
Yeah.
and we wanted to do this one because 1, it's close by, 2, it's local, and 3, like, we kind of wanted to bring it back
It would because
and
it's
like shine
unsolved.
a new light on it.
Like it's
Yeah.
unsolved. Like, and there's more to like what a lot of people had we've talked to some one of the family members.
We have spoken to one of the family
Yes,
members.
we
I
did.
found her on Ancestry, actually.
Yeah, she had no idea it was her. It's her cousin.
It's
Is it Cindy's?
No, it's the wife's father.
Oh,
The fifth
so yeah,
cousin.
so it is, but it is Cindy's cousin though.
Yes.
So, yeah,
it's Cindy's relative. So
yeah.
I spoke to her. I got some information from her. I met her on Ancestry.
Yeah, first the one we were allowed to talk about her, or like we would, because we're putting her on our slideshows. We had to get her permission for it, and she's like, yeah, definitely.
She's really excited about this.
Yeah, she's extremely so. What was her name?
Diane.
Hi, Diane. She's probably listening to this. So
Yeah,
hi.
I told her I'd let her know when
Yeah,
it was
so
posted. But anyways, yeah, we wanted to do this because, 1, I love true crime.
yeah,
do.
she has. It's really fun to watch.
I have
her.
an obsession.
Yeah, her obsession with true crime is kind of funny to watch.
It's funny.
Yeah, because you talk about it all the time. That's like what you.
Oh yeah, my
Well,
life revolves around it.
yeah,
These past couple
she-
weeks, it's been revolving around this case in particular. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that we are doing this. And next episode, we are going to talk about
Like
family,
Sydney and
backstory on the
everyone
family,
else.
events that happen with the family,
Mhm.
and how they're involved. And because there's a lot of
there's a whole
stories
lot.
about the children. There's a lot of stories, and mainly we're going to talk about James Osmanson,
he's
and we're
a-
going to talk about
James Osmanson is a really big part
and
of
we're
the
going to talk
story.
about Billy's daughters, and we're going to talk about Cindy's kids and Cindy's relationship with the kids, and how the kids handled their death, and how they handled
I think the only one we probably don't know how she handled her death was probably the baby.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about that next episode. This has been Cold in Colorado with DNA, and we'll keep searching for the truth wherever it takes us.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next case.
You've been listening to the Cold in Colorado with DNA podcast, presented by Create at Morgan Productions, located in Fort Morgan, Colorado, USA. For more information about our production house, other podcasts hosted here, and further details, please visit www.createatmorgan.org. You can find us on Twitter at the handle Create@Morgan. Create@Morgan is a school club at Lincoln High School, our alternative education campus in Morgan County. Our sponsor is Aaron DeLay, the language arts teacher at Lincoln.
Hi.
Send any feedback to adelayedteacher@gmail.com.